Hello my friends. Today on Tom's Tinkering and Adventures, we'll give you a little bit of a tour of my farm that I grew up on, the family farm out here in beautiful Milroy, Minnesota. And Ken and I rode out here to get a little bit of bike maintenance done. Oh, let me give you there's the driveway. And that across the road is not a lake or one of Minnesota's 10,000 lakes. I think we're up to about 20,000 lakes now because we had a lot of rain in this area. A lot of the crops have been flooded out. And if you can see the field on this side, this is a soybean field, but at the end there you can see it's a bunch of grass and kind of weeds or something growing there. And on this side you can see that that got flooded there as well and nothing is growing. So there's our grove and the wonderful home I grew up in. And there's a very cool old tractor that we had in our tree line ever since I was a kid. The last time I come to visit, I talked my dad into dragging this out so we could put it on display out here because it's just really cool looking. I can't remember the year of it, but it's a Farmall F12. And his dad used to use it, and it's been sitting in the tree line out here since the 70s. And we've always talked about restoring it. It's really not financially wise to restore it because you'd spend way more money than it's worth. You can buy one of these things running, operational, for about $1,500. But it makes a really nice display. It looks awesome. It makes the farm look nice, in my opinion. I love it. I love rusty old farm equipment. I love restored farm equipment as well, but antique farm equipment, to me, I just love it. Every time I drive by it, I want to stop and check it out. The fact that people were using equipment like this and farming so many acres. I mean, even back in the 20s and 30s, they were farming hundreds of acres with something like this. This thing has maybe 20 horsepower, 3 speeds, top speed of about 10 miles an hour maybe, which, I mean, tractors don't go fast anyway, but it's not a very high power machine, and it's very interesting. I just love those things. And even though it doesn't make financial sense, I would probably talk myself into restoring it. I just would love to hear it running, but trying to have a little bit more sense about things than that. All right, this is a walk up the driveway in the home. I'll pan over here. You hear the bugs up in the trees. So noisy. The old barn, we used to raise cattle and hogs and sheep and chickens and geese. I don't think that my parents have raised animals in many years. Garden. Used to be a lot of rhubarb right here, but I don't see very much of it anymore, if at all. And a strawberry patch, it's probably not there anymore. Some of my dad's tractors that he has, that I spent many, many hours behind the wheel of as a young man. Great big John Deere combine. Another tractor, farm trucks, some grain bins, and there's our motorcycles getting worked on. This is my dad's machine shed. It's a shop basically. He's got 16 of each tool probably. I might be exaggerating, but he might have more of some and less of others, but he's got a lot of tools, not neatly organized, but he's the type of guy who knows what he has and knows where it's at. Now, no one else can find it, but he knows where it is and he knows what he's got. And if he can't find it, he'll get frustrated, but he will find it. And there's our tractor with our loader. We do a lot of work with that on the farm here. And some junk cars. A lot of old farms have junk cars. There's a Volkswagen shining in the background there. I think that's my brother's ex-wife's Volkswagen. It's been sitting here for a long time. The old International H, which has been on this farm since I was a kid as well. Every tractor that's on this farm has pretty much been here since I was a kid, except for the John Deere combine and this International M over here. My dad picked that up at some point after I joined the military. And we got this other tractor with the cab over here. That's the International 1066 Turbo. And we picked that up maybe when I was about 13 or 14, but all these other ones have been farming. Some of these were my dad's tractors. So, and this was always magical when I was a young man of driving age. This is a gas barrel. And having a car, backing up to this and sneaking a little bit of the fuel out of there from Dad. Let me go out and cruise Main Street on those exciting nights in the Midwest. Hope he doesn't watch this video. Nah, he knows I got some gas out of there more than one occasion. So, did a lot of work on the farm. I'm sure that was a farm kid's allowance. So we rolled up here to do oil changes and tire changes. And my parents are out right now, so I had to try to dig around in that shed. I'm not going to take you in there because it's maybe a little bit frightening for the younger viewers of our audience, but I don't know where everything is at in there. But we did find an oil drain pan, and we did find some oil. Saying the same thing I said, you know, this is a little bit of payback for all the work. So when my dad watches this, say, we borrowed a jug of oil from you, but don't worry, we gave you back the used oil to replace it. And when I rolled up here, my email said that my tires were delivered and they were nowhere to be found, so I was getting a little upset. But as we were working on the bikes, the FedEx man came hauling up the driveway, and he dropped off our tires, and they already got dirt on them, so they look like we have some street cred already. So that's kind of nice. I took a video yesterday of Ken driving one of our tractors here. I'll get another video of me driving a tractor here. We're gonna go in the back of these trees if we get some time and dig out. There's an old truck back there that I've been wanting to get out of there for a long time. So I'll add a little video at the end of this of rescuing the truck. Or no, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make a whole separate video of driving the tractors and rescuing the truck. But in the meantime, we're getting our maintenance done on the bikes. And I gave you just a quick tour of the family farm. I grew up here, and I attribute anything that I have succeeded on in my life to the base that was laid down here working on this farm. I learned about hard work, about seeing things through to completion, and just taking care of business and getting it done against the odds. Because where we are, there's no one else out here. We're 3.5 miles out of town, and by town I mean a town of 250 or less people. So your resources are small. Your resources are right between here and here and right here. Your mind and your hands and your imagination and your ingenuity is what gets things done out here on the farm when things go bad. So I attribute all my successes in life into growing up here, I think, is what laid it all down for me. So coming back here means a lot to me. I hope y'all can feel a little bit of that and maybe understand my background a little bit. So thank you very much for watching. Get out and find your adventure. Adios.